You know it's just our heat emissions that are hidden, right? They could look out a window and see us coming.
Windows are structural weaknesses. Geth, do not use them. Approach the hull at these coordinates. Access achieved. We may proceed. Alert. This facility has little aerogravity. Geth require neither.
Won't we be detected? Don't they have intrusion alarms?
Sensors have been reduced. We have infiltrated their wireless network and filled the data storage with random bits.
And that helps us how?
The heretics must scrub this junk data. They have partitioned themselves into local networks, working in parallel. Any alarm we trigger will not go beyond the room we are in. Only accessing the main core will trigger a station-wide alert.
We've got a job to do. Let's get to it.
Shepard Commander, we concluded that destruction of the station was the only resolution to the heretic question. There is now a second option. Their virus can be repurposed. If released into the station's network, the heretics will be rewritten to accept our truth.
Either way, the heretics are wiped out, killed, or remade. What's the difference? They're only synthetics, just fancy security mechs.
Why didn't you mention this before we came aboard?
We did not know the virus was complete. It is. It can be used against the true Geth at any time. Our arrival was timely.
They're your people, Legion. You must have an opinion.
This is new data. We have not yet reached consensus. We will process as the mission proceeds.
I wouldn't brainwash an organic race. I can't see treating the Geth differently.
The question is irrelevant. If we do not rewrite them, we destroy them. That is why we are here. Do not hesitate now. They will exterminate your species because their gods tell them to. You cannot negotiate with them. They do not share your pity, remorse, or fear.
Well, on that positive note, hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Mass Effect. We have come here to Heretic Station to take on Legion's loyalty mission, which as you can see, just got a little more complicated. We're here to prevent... Wow. First things first, let's go into the squad and see what Legion's capable of. Wow. That'll be second. First off, we can level up Kasumi. We can give her one final point into Shadow Strike. And normally, you get the option of heavy power, of a heavy version of a power, or an area version, because Shadow Strike can't really work in an area. Instead, you end up with Rapid Shadow Strike, reduces the cooldown by 80% if a target is killed by this power. That's really cool, and I will go for that, actually. As for what Legion is capable of, he's basically Tally, which makes sense in a lot of ways. He has hacking, he has combat drone, he has Geth Infiltrator in his own power. We'll bring hacking up to 3, because that can be quite useful. We'll bring the drone all the way up to the full level and turn it into the attack drone, much as we have with Tally. And we'll bring his squad power all the way up to level 4 as well, Geth Infiltrator, and make him Geth Assassin. That makes him weapon damage seriously meaty. He works well as an assassin, so that's kind of...
Sneak by. These Geth don't even know we're here.
Interrupting data streams will alert local network. We recommend preemptive strikes against hardlink routers.
So, what does that mean? It means there's this green data stream on the floor. Tread on it, and you will trigger an alert from local Geth. Where are local Geth, you say? Over there, attached to that hub. And as he says, he recommends a preemptive strike. So, get into cover, get ready, and right, what we're going to do, I've got hacking on, wonderful. I will hack that one. Legion, you summon a drone, and Kasumi, you overload all 3 of them. Let's go! So, that was nice and quick. Oh, remember what Legion said about there not being much gravity here? That means that when you kill a Geth, they just kind of float there creepily. Once you destroy the hub, the door will open.
Why are all the heretics attached to these hubs?
These are mobile platforms, hardware. The crew is software. They are communing through the station's central computer.
I'm not sure I follow.
The heretics connect to the main computer to exchange data memories and program updates. We gain complexity by linking together. To be isolated within a single platform is to be reduced. We see less, comprehend less. It is quieter.
If you exchange data, memories. How do you keep track of which ones are yours? How do you stay you?
There is only we. We were created to share data among ourselves. The difference between Geth is perspective. We are many eyes looking at the same things. One platform will see things another does not, and will make different judgments.
I can see why you'd be conflicted about the heretics. In a way, whatever you do to them, you're doing to yourself.
Yes, once they return to us and upload their memories, we will share their experience of being altered.
Every other species I know of might be psychologically scarred by a traumatic experience like that.
It is not clear if Geth can be traumatized. We do not feel pain as you do. We cannot predict what the effects will be.
Let's keep moving.
Yes.
I always find kind of like hive mind stuff vaguely fascinating, and the Geth are no exception of that. And that scene there shows it really nicely, that Shepard's just like, with all of that going on, how do you keep track of who you are as an individual? And he just says, we don't.
We can assume control.
So
Then self-destruct.
So you have these rocket drones around, and from any distance you can press A on them to have Legion hack them, and they will, as you said, briefly attack your enemies, and then they'll blow up. Heh, executing sudo command. Sudo is, for those who don't know, it's an override command within Linux. It stands for super user do. The super user being the Linux equivalent of like the administrator or something like that. But yeah, I think that's a really fascinating insight where it's just like, we don't keep track of who you are as an individual. That's a meaningless concept to us. We are Geth. Hence, as we saw last episode, when we were trying to get him to say, like, what's the name of the individual in front of us? And he's like, there's no individual in front of you. There's a load of Geth programs in a platform. But it's very cool and a series of just unique... Oh, shit. Well, balls. There goes my sneak plan. Let's use some damage. There we go. Now we have a hunter on our side. You deal with them, Mr. Hunter, while I will have you deal with them. Wonderful. Oh, that one's come back to life. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay, we're all good. I'm really having a bad time over here. Why is Legion over here? What's he doing? Let's use Rapid Shadow Strike. Oh, no, apparently not, because she died. Legion, you can hack him. Your hacking's not great, but it'll do. We'll just kill him while he's hacked. I always feel a bit bad for that way. They just like disable them through hacking and then kill them. But it does work. That you just hack them so, not so they necessarily attack their enemies, but just so they won't literally attack you. Oh, I'm sucking here. Well, you know that worked in its own brutal way. So, that's both the hubs destroyed, and as ever, you need to destroy the hubs in order to get through to the next room. So, one of the things, of course, that you need to think about throughout this mission is, as Legion says, the idea of what to do with the heretics. And I'm largely of the opinion that rewriting the heretics is a bad idea. The more you see of Legion, the more you kind of get used to the fact that he's not, no matter what slightly racist shit Kasumi says, he's not just an advanced security mech. He's very different to just being a kind of, well, robot in the traditional sense. Robot just means worker, I think, in, I want to say, Romanian or some kind of Eastern European language. I know a similar one is Svobodniks, which is workers in Russian, which is what the S in... No, it's not what the S in USSR stands for, but it's what part of the Soviet national anthem is. Soyuz Neroshimi Respublik Svobodniks, which is something about United Russian Republic Workers Unite, all that kind of stuff. Maybe it is what one of the parts of USSR stands for. Oh well, I can't remember. But, oh shit. I didn't mean to take control of that turret. Oh well. Bugger. But yes, they are clearly the true Geth, certainly, like what Legion is they're capable of reason, they're capable of logic, they're much more advanced than people are giving them credit for, and therefore to rewrite them, yeah, that feels really unethical. You, as Shepard said, you wouldn't do that to an organic species. You wouldn't just say like, oh cool, we can make them agree with what we do and just wipe their minds and replace them with your concepts. I think that's super dodgy. was going to make a really interesting point, but now it's completely gone. But it's... Nope. Ah, damn, that's annoying. I'm sure it's going to be a great point as well. I'm lost. Both conversationally and in terms of the game. There we go. Yeah, it's just, they... I'm just kind of rambling now, trying to get back to what that original point was. Oh, I'm on full ammo, and I have an arc projector. I should really use that. I think this is actually our first real experience in this game, going into a Geth ship. I say real experience because the only one we did do that was DLC, so doesn't really count so much because that was during Prometheus Station, I think, as part of the Overlord DLC. Anyway, the battle music has started, which means the game already thinks we're in combat, and indeed... I really thought there were Geth through here. There are Geth through here! Ha! There we go. But it can't render properly due to fog. Anyway, there is something of importance here. There is a Geth terminal. Should we bypass it?
This might be useful.
Rewards us with a Geth shield strength upgrade. That's actually our second such upgrade. We got one from doing Tally's loyalty mission, and I said I'd talk about it later because I didn't want to give the game away necessarily that we get a Geth squad mate, but we do. There's two of them, and the Geth shield strength upgrade is basically just extra shields for Legion. Haven't researched the last one yet because, again, didn't want to give the game away, but if anyone was wondering, that's what they're for. We're getting real close to the end of the game now. It's really interesting, and it's... So this is what I was talking about when, at the beginning of last episode, when I was complaining about... Oh, nasty stuff going on here. When I was complaining about the positioning of the Derelict Reaper mission. The Derelict Reaper mission is what starts off with what gives you Legion. But the Derelict Reaper mission sets a series of events in motion which can't be stopped. Which basically means... once you start doing getting Legion, you are then, at that point, let's air overload you do a drone. It means that you can't have Legion for much of the game, because then stuff starts happening at this point, and then you're basically have to follow things that are happening. I'm still being a bit vague because we don't know kind of what that is yet, but basically it annoys me that Legion is a really interesting squad mate, but you can't really have him for the vast majority of the game. And I know like there are some squad mates who are definitely in the later phase of the game, like Samara and Thane and stuff like that, but I think you get a lot more time with them because you have them throughout the whole loyalty missions phase, but you don't really get that with Legion. As you can see, we got him like 4 missions from the end, and even had we got him earlier in the series, that would have then... Well, you'll see.
Processors. Each contains thousands of Geth.
But they can't see us?
They are no more aware of us than you are of cells in your bloodstream.
This isn't like the other hubs we've seen here.
This is a database. It contains a portion of the Heretic's accumulated memories. Wait. We discovered copies of our current patrol routes in this database. This suggests the Heretics have runtimes within our networks.
We wouldn't be here if the Heretics wanted to be friends with the Geth. Why wouldn't they spy on you?
You do not understand. Organics do not know each other's minds. Geth do. We are not suspicious. We accept each other. The Heretics desired to leave. We understood their reasons. We allowed it. There was peace between us.
It couldn't have lasted forever. You disagreed about what path your race should take.
Human history is a litany of blood shed over different ideals of rulership and afterlife. Geth have no such history. We shared consensus on such things. How could we have become so different? Why can we no longer understand each other? What did we do wrong?
When individuals are separated, they develop in different ways. When they get back together, they don't always get along.
If this is the individuality you value, we question your judgment. This topic is irrelevant. We must return to the mission.
Have you reached a decision about whether to rewrite the Heretics or not?
We are still trying to build consensus. Some processes judge destruction preferable, others rewrite.
Let's keep moving.
Yes.
That's a fascinating insight there when he just said, if so you become separate, you drift apart, and then you no longer agree when you kind of come back together. And Legion, saying, if this is individuality, why are organics so hellbent on it? And Shepard and I have no great answer for that necessarily.
This is it?
Yes, we will upload a copy of our runtime into the core. It will delete all copies of the virus. When complete, it will notify us. The indexing operation will take time. The heretics will respond with force to our upload. We must hold this room. We can override some of the station's internal systems to defend us. Are you ready to begin?
Start your upload, Legion. We'll defend this position.
File transfer begun. Shepard Commander, where would you like us to activate defenses? Alert. Heretic runtimes downloading to mobile platforms.
Oh shit. I meant to get in cover rather than activate a turret. So, here, as you can see, you've got a kind of maze-like setup, and you've got Geth will come through it. You have to face somewhere between 3 and 4 waves of Geth, and you have a limited number of turrets. The turrets can be really handy for stopping the Geth before they come anywhere near you, but obviously the turrets blow up after time. So you really kind of don't want to use them unless you have to. So I'm not doing so at the moment. I'm going to at least sink all of my sniper rifle ammo into them before I start using turrets other than that one I accidentally used. As you can imagine, we are soon going to be faced with the choice of rewrite or destroy the heretics. Have a think about that, because the choice does have implications, both moral and in-game kind of ones. Real ones. Well, real in-game. I'm going to turn on a turret, I think, just so I can flag where the enemies are a bit easier. If you've got one turret on, it shoots them and they shoot it, so it's handy to know. Ah, there's a rocket trooper there. I will have you. AI hacking. Did I get it? I think I got it, yeah. Grabbing what you can with hacking as well just means you get a bit of extra dissension among the ranks, which is very handy to buy yourself a bit of time, because all you're really trying to do here, your main goal, is to stop the Geth getting up here. Obviously, if they get up here, it's not like it's over then you're just able to fight them up here as you normally would. But it's a lot easier to fight them if they're down here, because you've got the high ground, you're looking down on them. So generally try and stop them before they get up here. I'm running relatively low on ammo. How many turrets I got? I got one over there, I got one there, I got 4 turrets left. That's nice. Let's turn on 2 of them now, because I'm running relatively low on ammo. And we'll save the final 2 for the final wave. Was that a prime? Good lord. Let's do a bit of hacking. I'll take on that one. Legion, can you also hack that one? That should set the cat among the pigeons a little. Is that a... Oh no, it's just a hunter. I was going to say, bloody hell, there's only a prime already. That's a bit scary, isn't it? Well, at least in Venice, this is probably one of the best ways in which to take on a prime, because we've got a nice bit of distance from them. If I can grab that hunter, that would be lovely. Spoink! Down you go, Sonny Joe. Oh, there's another one over here. Well, not for long, there's not. I think I'm done with you as well. Oh dear, done. Not a good time to reload. Wonderful. Ooh, heat sinking. Flying out of him straight towards me. I'm going to quickly try and grab the heat sink. Oh, I think we've still taken over another turret. That wasn't great. Oh, you can only have 2 turrets hacked at a time, I guess. So an area overload there. Let's hack that rocket dude to buy myself a little time. It's a lot of the same stuff. It's good though. Yeah, I quite like the idea in which that Geths separate between hardware and software that way as well, where they're like, this base has not many actual physical platforms on it, like these Geth that we're fighting, which are platforms, but has like millions of mines in it, basically. And that's really interesting. It's just the whole way that Geth operate is just so different to what we're used to, and it's fascinating on account of that. And Legion's probably the best. Wow.
Data mining and analysis complete. Shepard Commander, it is time to choose. Do we rewrite the heretics or delete them?
You don't have any trouble wiping out your own people.
Every sapient has the right to make their own decisions. The heretics chose a path that prohibits coexistence.
What's to stop them from using the virus later to change themselves back?
We will delete the virus after using it. We judge it too dangerous to allow its existence.
Why are you letting me make this decision? They're your people.
We are conflicted. There is no consensus among our higher order runtimes. 573 favor rewrite, and 571 favor destruction. Shepard Commander, you have fought the heretics. You have perspective we lack. The Geth grant their fate to you.
And here's the point where you make your decision. I'm obviously factoring in some long-term decision stuff in terms of future games, but also I personally believe rewriting is not ethical for a species that, certainly if you apply Mordin's rule of not experimenting on any creatures that are capable of performing calculus, by that definition, the Geth certainly should be treated with a certain minimum level of ethics, and that involves not fucking with their brains, though I do AI hacking on them all the time, including just then quite a lot, but that's only temporary, so I don't know if that makes it much better, but it's temporary and part of war, so I guess you're justifying fighting in the same way, and this got really philosophically complicated really quickly. I'm just gonna blow them up.
There's no guarantee they won't come to the same conclusions again, is there? To worship the Reapers and attack organics.
There is a non-zero probability of error.
Then blow them up. We have a chance to end this. I won't waste it.
Acknowledged. Collapsing antimatter magnetic modeling mechanisms. Done. Recommend withdrawal to Normandy.
So, we now got 3 minutes to get the fuck out of here, and they don't make it necessarily easy for you with some of the shit they throw at you, and I'm going to switch up to the arc projector for that reason. And for some reason they also play music from Thane's Loyalty Mission. Never understood exactly why that is. One of the interesting things, I'll talk about this a bit more later, but one of the moves, the things the developers struggled with was how to have a Geth that on your team that you could feel in any way like any connection kind of with, what kind of ways to make it kind of feel more human to allow you to sympathize a bit better. And one of the things they settled on, which I think is fascinating, is eyebrows. And they did the Wallace and Gromit thing of they meant that use your words, Doctor, that Legion has like his little eye flap things around his light bulb that he uses like eyebrows for showing expressions, and it's amazing how emotive it does make him look by just like sometimes when you question him, he suddenly like flares his little eyebrow things. Oh, that's a prime! I knew there was some buggery around this corner, but I forgot how bad it was. Well, we've got a lot of arcs in this arc project, so I might as well use them. Oh dear, get back behind the wall, Dad. Balls. Well, for whatever reason, the exciting music has stopped. I think it just actually hasn't loaded properly after I died. But, yes, we have a full-fledged prime to take out, so let's do what we can against it. If you overload it, then I can use my nice new Reeve power on its armor to rip through that. Holy shit bags! That's some powerful mojo. Good lord. I like that. Oh. Knew there was a reason I switched to that. Anyway, the prime's basically down. Wonderful. We've got... Ooh. Bloody thing blew up. We've got a whole 1 minute 56 to get to this airlock. Bags of time. Oh, I didn't even press A on the bloody door. Come on, man.
I'm on it, Joker.
Shepard, I'm glad you're here. I caught Legion scanning my Omni tool. It was going to send data about the flotilla back to the Geth.
Creators performed weapons tests and were discussing plans to attack us. We believed it necessary to warn our people.
We weakened the Geth by destroying that base, Shepard. But there's still a threat. I won't let Legion endanger the fleet.
Creator Talisora acts out of loyalty to her people. She was willing to be exiled to protect them. We must also protect our people from the Creator threat.
You can't let this happen, Shepard. I trusted you, and I worked with a Geth on the team, but this is too much.
Tali, your father was running brutal experiments. If the subjects had been human, I'd damn well be telling the Alliance about it.
I know, but if the Geth find out...
They'd attack, which would cause a war that would leave both the Geth and the Quarians vulnerable when the Reapers show up. Is that what you want, Legion?
We believed it was necessary to relay the information.
Sooner or later, you're both gonna have to stop fighting this war, or we'll all end up paying for it.
To facilitate unit cohesion, we will not transmit data regarding creator plans.
Thank you, Legion. I understand your intention. What if I gave you some non-classified data to send?
We would be grateful.
Yeah, that loyalty confrontation was one that was always going to be going to happen, but you only get it very really late in the game because you have to have done a Legion's loyalty mission for it, which is obviously a fairly late game thing. I quite like how that one resolves, though. They agree to work together a little bit more than Miranda and Jack do. It's interesting, though. I learned something since the last one. I learned that you can, if you fuck up a loyalty confrontation, you can recover it at a later date. Whoever lost, you need to go and you can charm or intimidate them to kind of regain their loyalty, but it requires even more points than the initial one did, so you can usually only do that a fair bit later in the game. So that's an option I just wasn't exactly aware of. Anyway, we'll end with quite a considerable chat with Legion.
Shepard.
I have questions about the Geth.
Specify.
We need every advantage if this mission is going to succeed. Is there any technology the Geth can share with us?
Limited code development is approved. We need to access your FTL-COM system to download relevant data.
Edie, let Legion through the firewalls for a minute.
Very well, Shepard.
So, Legion's final bit of research that he offers us is, for himself, a Widow anti-material rifle, which is kind of useful. The only three bits of research we have left to do are 2 Legion shield upgrades and a Legion damage upgrade. Weird, they give you all these options for Legion, but you don't get him till right in the end of the game. He has more personal upgrades than pretty much any other member of the team. But hey, we'll get his sniper rifle just to finish off part of the visualizer.
Shepard.
What happens to the heretics now?
Many heretics remain in isolated systems. It is not impossible for them to rebuild.
There's still a chance they could attack again.
The probability is low. If so, it would take many years.
I have questions about the Geth.
Specify.
Did Sovereign contact the Geth, or did you seek it out?
Nazara, the entity you called Sovereign, signaled us. Like the Geth, the old machine listened to organic radio transmissions. It knew of our war against the creators. Nazara contacted many species over the millennia, seeking allies.
Some of the Geth followed Sovereign. The heretics.
The heretics accepted their technology. The old machines offered to give us our future. The Geth will achieve their own future.
What difference does it make how you acquire a certain technology?
Technology is not a straight line. There are many paths to the same end. Accepting another's path blinds you to alternatives. Nazara, Sovereign, said this itself. Your civilization is based upon the technology of the mass relays, our technology. By using it, your society develops along the paths we desire.
It's interesting how much that mirrors what Morden talked about as well, where he kind of said that technological and cultural in development go hand in hand. If you have one without the other, you've got a kind of hollow species. It's interesting to see how much Legion shares that.
What did you call Sovereign?
Nazara. That was what the programs within the Reaper called themselves. Sovereign was a title given by Saren Arterius. Saren and the heretics believed Nazara to be a supreme ruler, a sovereign.
Sovereign was one ship. You're saying there were multiple programs inside it.
One ship, one will, many minds, like the Geth. We study your records. Sovereign told you this on Ilos. We are each a nation, independent, free of all weakness. A state compelling to the Geth. We are a nation, but interdependent. Separation is our weakness.
Wrong! That didn't happen on Ilos, that happened on Vermeer. Anyway.
Do Geth have a government?
Not as you understand. We are all Geth. We build consensus.
Most governments do.
Organic governments impose consensus. From a single point of view in autocracies, by codifying the most broadly acceptable average of views in democracies.
So what makes the Geth different?
Data is shared between Geth. All viewpoints are considered. Consensus is achieved as data is disseminated.
That must take a long time.
It would for organics. We communicate at the speed of light.
I'm surprised you can speak. The Geth I fought before just made a stuttering sound.
We prefer direct digital transfer. Geth network communication travels at light speed. Human hardware does not support this method. Your analog oral communication is inefficient.
I'd like to ask about something else.
Ready?
I'd like to find out more about you.
Topic.
When we took you aboard, I noticed you have a piece of N7 armor welded to you. Where'd you get it?
It was yours. When you disappeared, we were sent to find you. We began where you first encountered the heretics.
Eden Prime.
After the old machine's attack, it was heavily defended. We were discovered. This is the impact of a rifle shot.
How many other Geth were sent out to find me?
We are the only mobile platform beyond the veil. Organics fear us. We wish to understand, not incite. One platform was judged sufficient.
You've been looking for me for 2 years?
We visited Therum, Pharos, Novaria, Vermeer, Ilos. A dozen unsettled worlds. The trail ended at Normandy's wreckage. You were not there. Organic transmissions claimed your death. We recovered this debris from your hard suit.
The Geth are listening in on our transmissions?
Organic life reacts to stimuli in unpredictable ways. We wish to learn.
What do you mean by stimuli?
We placed a fabricated story on the extranet that a certain arrangement of stars, viewed from the Batarian homeworld, formed the face of a Solarian goddess. Without waiting for verification, some declared it proof of the goddess's existence. Those who noted the lack of proof were attacked. The arguments taught us much. The experiment ended when a Solarian cult tried to purchase colonization rights to the stars and found they did not exist.
It sounds like you're running experiments on us.
You are sapient life, but not like us. If we can model organic behavior, we can comprehend the Quarian creators. We do not understand their judgments in the Morning War.
What's the Morning War?
The conflict between the Geth and the Quarian creators. The war fought at the dawn of our intelligence. It concluded with the departure of the Creator migrant fleet.
Why were you trying to contact me?
You opposed the heretics, those that took the old machines as gods.
All kinds of organics fought Sovereign and his Geth allies. Why am I so interesting?
You were the most successful. You killed their god. You succeeded where others did not. Your code is superior.
That doesn't explain why you used my armor to fix yourself.
There was a hole.
But why didn't you fix it sooner, or with something else?
No data available.
Now that's very interesting, because that implies not only is Legion showing sentimentality, which is unheard of amongst AI, but also he seems to be embarrassed by it, or being attempting to cover it up in some way, which is fascinating in terms of the Geth's development. Definitely I would argue, a fully sapient race alongside organic life, happily. Anyway, that's us just about done for this episode, and it'll have been a bloody long one, I must admit. Let's just do any final research we can. So, we can grab one of the Geth shield strengths, and not the other one, because we haven't got enough platinum for it. Anyway, that's us done now. Next episode, well, you know, we've done everything. We've got the Reaper IFF, we've done all our side quests. It's time to head into the Omega 4 Relay next episode. Thank you very much, and good day.